Hello, I'm Ken Ramsey. Let's talk about database analysis for relationship measurement and one of the important things you can get from that, and that is a planned gift engagement plan. Let's see how we do that. So we're going to first of all ask the question, why even do this? Why go to the time, expense, and energy to develop a plan giving engagement plan? Let's look at it. Number one reason, it's a foundational step in advancing strategic philanthropy, that kind of fundraising that you deal one-on-one with prospective donors. So when we say strategic philanthropy, we're including these areas of fundraising. Certainly estate giving, or what we call plan giving, I'll use those terms interchangeably, but also leadership gifts, gifts that grow out of large gifts that grow out of the annual fund, and informing major gift work as well, those specific very large gifts. The first step in doing this, in developing these areas of fundraising, is to do the right kind of database analysis, and out of it you will get a detailed engagement plan specifically for estate gifts or plan giving. The highest predictability is in the area of estate gifts. In other words, people in their relationship with you, if it's specified correctly, can very predictably make plan gifts to your organization. As I said, estate giving, we'll also call it plan giving. Leadership giving, again, those large gifts that grow out of the annual fund, you can get a pretty strong indication by relationship measurement of the database. And it always informs data that will direct you towards major gift. Number one reason, a good database analysis of the relationship measurement will be the first key step in these areas of fundraising, which are the growth areas of fundraising. Next reason, it very, very accurately builds a philanthropic pipeline. What do we mean by that? Well, we start with your database, and then we will do the relationship measurement the right way. And if this is done the right way, it directly will link to an engagement plan for plan gifts, an actual plan of what to do. In these areas, it will either plan gifts, it will be very specific. For leadership gifts, it gives a clear indication, and then it also informs major gift fundraising. Then you have to cultivate people over time. These types of gifts take time to bring to fruition. They take weeks, months, years, in the case of estate gifts sometimes, wherein we, the fundraisers, have to provide information. We have to answer the questions. We may have to negotiate case direction, that sort of thing. So it takes time. So when we speak about strategic philanthropy, it's over time because we're getting the larger gifts. And eventually we get those gifts, both current and deferred gifts. So that's the philanthropic pipeline, and it starts with that key database analysis. Next reason, it determines the potential for estate gifts. This is kind of a corollary to a good database analysis, and here's how it works. Again, we look at the database, we do the relationship measurement, but we do something added here, okay? And that is we put in real-world propensity scores. We translate that analysis into outcomes that can happen in the real world with a great deal of accuracy. If we marry that together with your average gift size, we can come up with an estate gift potential dollars in your database. How much value is in that database when it comes to estate gifts? Why is this important? Well, when you know what that total value is there, you can start to put it in perspective. You can start to determine how much you want to expend to develop that value. What level of resources do you want to put towards it? You can determine how strategically to develop it over time. So knowing what the value is in the database is a very, very important strategic variable in fundraising. Next reason, it will establish a clear engagement plan with real-world predictability. So done the right way, out of a database and a measurement of a database can come an actual hard clear plan of what to do. It'll tell us things like who to go to. Also, how do we go to them? What tactic do we use? What means of engagement do we use that's appropriate for each individual? Also, what do we want to go to them with? The database is amazing. Your database captures all of the information you have on every individual. So it describes the actual relationship you have. And out of that will come the answers to these questions, including what do we go to people with? What kind of opportunities do we put in front of them? And finally, when? What time, especially in the life journey of the donor, what's the right time to go to people for different types of gifts and gift opportunities? Good database analysis measures that relationship, will answer these questions for us. And here is a summary. We gather a resource assessment tool. What resources do you have? What dollars do you have? What staffing resources do you have? The goals of your organization. Once we look at these key areas, then we can put that together with the database analysis that we do, in this case, which is the ACG data pinpoints. And it accurately measures relationship strength and converts that to real-world propensity, the probabilities, the actual numbers of people that will respond if you approach them in this way or that way. So if we get individual scoring, we take it right down to the individual level. We put that in the form of easy-to-use dashboards that you can use strategically with highly predictable results. If we do that, and we can add an optional wealth assessment. We can put wealth screening data in there. This is used for finer delineation, not propensity, not is this person more likely than the other, because wealth is not an indicator for that, but it is for the size of the gift. We can marry all these together, and out of that we will get a step-by-step, multi-channel, individual engagement plan. And if we summarize together, we can start to build hard business plans with known outcomes that accurately measure the return on investment from the resources you put in. This is the outcome, if you will, of a good database analysis. So, the last summary, it's a strategic first action to build your strategic philanthropy program. And out of it, you will get these factors. It gives you control of your plan giving program. To some degree, your leadership giving program, but clearly and definitely your plan giving program. It directs and informs the leadership and the major gift programs. It tells you where to go with what sort of expectations. It can initiate or dramatically take your plan giving program to the next level. That's what this key step does. It strategically grows your program as resources allow. Because of the predictability of the plan, you can marry up the right amount of resources for the results that you want. It becomes a science. And finally, it meets targets that may be internal targets that have been set by senior management, by boards, with predictable outcomes. And therefore, you can, with confidence, build a hard business case to take to those decision makers. And you have a very successful program.